Welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. It's Saturday, it is the day before my last day of football before my operation this coming Friday, which is 6 days from now. This video will go out long after I have the operation, but it will be 6 days after this video goes out. Now the soap for today, for this Saturday, is this. It is Coloniali Mango Shaving Cream. Now, mango oil shaving cream. It is not a cream. In fact, to be honest with you, this soap is as hard as the terracotta pot. It is rock hard. The scent, I love the scent. I don't know what it is about it. To my nose, it's very intoxicating. It smells almost, it would be, I suppose the best way to describe it would be the smoke from a citrus tree or something like that. It does have a fruity type note to it, something, but it's so subtle, and it's just this real smoky, woodsy type scent. It's very, very nice. It smells nothing like mango. I think it's just the mango oil that is in it that is the part that makes it really work. Now this stuff's pretty old. I think it sort of dates back to like 2010, 2011, something like that. It's a very good quality soap. Now this one, the one that I've got, was basically, it was almost a gift. It was part of a trade for some vintage blades. Vintage Australian Gillettes, but the lid on this one took a bit of a beating, as you can see. There's on that side and on that side. I just smacked it with some super glue. Look, it's never going to be perfect, but that doesn't really matter. The brush for today is the Whiskers 24mm black wolf knot synthetic, and this is the blueberry pie colour scheme. And it's the Odyssey handle. There is Peter Wolf's knot on the bottom there from Wolf Whiskers. Peter Wolf is a really nice guy to deal with. He's a very genuine, hard-working, honest bloke. He's got quite a large family, and I think he supports basically the whole family off of his Wolf Whiskers branding, or his Wolf Whiskers brushes. His wait list has never been empty the whole time I have known of Wolf Whiskers for the last 4 years. So once you get on there, it takes a while. You get to the front of the line. If you're looking for something that is bog standard like this on his page, if you want an Odyssey handle with one of his colours, it'll be such a breeze to go with. He sets his knots at very good heights, so you don't have to piss about and worry about picking specific heights, unless that's your thing. But he will make you a brush that works perfectly, in my opinion. This one isn't my favourite. I do like these tuxedo knots, but I'm not a massive fan of bulb knots anymore. I find them too messy. But anyway, let's get stuck in. So I'm going to dip it in warm water in the sink, shake out most of the excess, and I'm just going to go straight onto the dry soap. Now last time I used this, I soaked the soap first. This is really just a test to see whether it's a requirement, whether you really need to soak it first or not to soften it, or whether you can get a good enough load from this really hard soap. I've just dipped the tips. I'm just going to dip them again. Oh, the scent's really coming out. Considering how old this soap is, the scent strength's brilliant. Now there is a very slight hint of menthol in here as well. It is cold over here in Western Australia at the moment. By cold I mean like 13, 14 degrees. As you can see, so far so good. So I'm going to go with that and just see what happens with it. Like I say, I've never used this soap when it's been dry. I've always soaked it. I've only ever used it twice, once on my head, once on my face. The scent really does come to life when you actually get some water on it. It really does. Just rinsing it off now. So, I mean, I don't soak it, but I do soak it afterwards to rinse it off. But it doesn't really bother me. This will be left to dry for quite some time. And there'll be absolutely no issues with it. Right, so the soap has been cleaned out, but you can see there's still soap down the back of it and things. I'm not worried about that. I'm drying. Let's just paint this on and see what kind of lather I can get. Now that wasn't, for me, a particularly long load, I don't think. I think that was quite a short load in reality, given how hard that soap is. And it is hard. It is the hardest soap in my den. It's harder than Mitchell's Wool Fat. It's harder than a triple milled soap. Now I don't know how hard this is when it was initially made. Now let's dip the brush. I'm just going to clean it off a bit, just got a little bit of soap running down the handle. It's been a busy house today and last night. We had my youngest son, who's one of his good friends from school, had a sleepover. He went and played football at Soccer de Brazil last night. And then today Mitchell, my middle kid, his best mate from school, LaShaw, came over. He's Chinese. He was actually born and raised in China and then moved over here not too long ago. So Chinese is his first language. He speaks English as well. His English is very good. And then he also speaks a bit of Japanese. He's a very, very clever kid though. His mathematics and things are off the charts. And he wants to be a doctor. He's only 12. He already wants to be a doctor. Really nice kid. As is Maxie's mate. He's very, very confident kid. I do find that with the Chinese and the Asians and things like that. They do generally, they've got still an air of confidence about them, most of them. They're very reserved people. I mean, he's not, he just got stuck in it. It felt like he'd been here for years. It felt like he'd been Mitchell's mate since he was 2 years old and just blended into the house. They had a ball for a few hours. And his granddad picked him up, and he can only speak Chinese. He's been here the same amount of time as LaShaw. But given that he's an old man now, it would be very, very hard, I would imagine, to try and learn, especially English. Which for me, really, because we speak it and we've been taught it, we're generally pretty good with it, and it's not a difficult language. But really, when you look at it on paper and when people tell you about how difficult it is, it makes sense how hard this language is to learn, English. So many words have so many meanings. I'm just going to dip it again. I'm really impressed with this soap here. I wasn't expecting this to take so much water so early on without spraying, and it's just constantly going. I've got 2 days growth, so I'm looking forward to this. I've got the Feather Artist Club today. I was hoping to get my blades from Sweden, from Johan, over at Shaven Butcher, but sadly they haven't arrived yet. Right, I'm going to dip again and then spray. Such a nice scent. It's I don't know what kind of scent you would call this. It's a warm scent with a cooling sensation. Sort of, I would suppose, a little bit like First Snow from Barrister Man, but it's got leather and fur, and then it's got menthol. This one has menthol in it, but it's like such a, it's been added into the soap so well. You don't really, it's not a burny menthol, it's just enough to cool the top layer of your skin. It really is a lovely scent. I'm so thankful that Brendan sent me this soap. I was just amazed when I spoke to him about it, and he went, "Yeah, I've got one. You can have it as part of the trade for the blades." And then he sent me a Shave of Heaven Arctic Mango as well, which is, of course, you can't get it anymore. Look at that. Look at the shine on it. I'm very, very impressed with that soap. I mean, that's lovely stuff. That's very hydrated. And let's just see how it goes with this bad boy. The Feather Artist Club Stainless Steel Chevette. Well, Feather Artist Club SS Stainless Steel. Now, what I did with this got a little bit loose. Now, as you can see, it's quite stiff again. All you do, I just popped a screwdriver in there, turned it a little bit, and it tightened up straight away. I think it's great. I love how this mechanism works. It's nice and tight, it feels rigid, it feels well built. It's just a quality Chevette. And here we go. Wet the blade to warm it up a little bit, and straight into this 2 days growth. The blade has done 20 plus shaves, I think, now. So far, so good. Let's just do this side over here. The blade feels still smooth-ish, but it's definitely starting to feel like it's making that turn towards its last legs. Although in saying that, it's still peeling through the hair. Right, first pass done. Right, residual slickness is good. It's not excellent, it is good though. I actually thought it was going to be better than that. Given the quality of the lather, I thought that lather looked exceptional. But there's not a whole heap, to be honest. In fact, just for wetting my hands against. See that jittering? I don't get that from real quality post or residual slickness, I just don't get that. That being said, residual slickness for me on a face shave isn't really a key component of the shave for me. As long as it's slick when I'm shaving, that's all that matters. And this is. Can just feel that light cooling from the menthol, and it's very, very slight. It's just it's a very pleasant experience, this soap. However, the blade feels great. I mean, like I say, there's been a lot of shaves on this blade. To be honest, the time that this blade has really shined has been when it replaced the wick during my shaves with the wick. That was when I really appreciated how nice these blades were. Now granted, they are vintage white blades. I think I'm blood free so far. Yeah, same again, residual slickness is just, it's below good actually. I would say the residual slickness is just average based on this one shave with it. And I think in all honesty, I think this lather is probably the best lather that I've made out of the three so far that I've made with the Coloniali. But I love this scent, and one thing that this soap does have going that a lot of soaps don't, is really a phenomenal post shave. And given that this is an old soap and it hasn't been made for a long time, I'll get one weeper here. I think it's a weeper. Well, I think it is. It might just be a bit of redness. I am not sure. Right. There we go. Got to take a bit of time doing that. I never get it right with one stroke. Just can't do it. I can definitely see though why this soap is so highly regarded. Look, it's not. It's not better than Mitchell's Roll Fat for me. And it's not a vintage soap, but it is in the sense of it's 10 plus years old when it started being made. Well, that to go from 2 days growth to that, 3 passes with actually no blood, I don't think. I think I might have one tiny weeper under my chin, which I'm just about to have a look at. I'm still not getting as close with this feather chevet as I do with the DE, but I'm getting better. Every shave gets better. I mean, that's a pretty damn good shave for me. A little bit just on my chin every now and then, I just leave a... It's not bad, but it's just noticeable. Still a little bit of soap left in the knot. Make sure you get as much soap out of your knot as you can. Really important. Very much so if you're using badger hair and boar hair. You don't want that soap sat in the bottom of a natural bristle for so long. Because it's synthetic, you can give it a good beating on the towel. I don't think I've ever lost the hair from this. Beautiful. Right, I'm going to finish off now. That might just annoy me. This is dry, let me just put a bit of water on. Actually, do you know what? There's not really anything there. Just a bit of brown mark from where the hair is underneath. It's great when you shave in it and it looks like you need another one straight away. Just wipe my hands. 1 squirt of Australian Private Reserve Essentials Restoration Peptide Concentrate Serum. Rub that around. Now, granted, I don't really need it with the pull through of this soap, because the Coloniali post shave is quite as good as the best on the market, I think. It's an excellent post shave. But that is us done and dusted. Coloniali mango shaving oil, 3.5 ounces I think it says here, yeah. Made in Italy. It's got a very, very intoxicating smell, I find. And I think Barrister and Man Fougere Gothique is probably the closest thing to it. Now it's very complex, very strong and very dark and earthy, but they've got something about them that when I put it to my nose, they're very similar, even though they're not. But to my nose, it's just something that rings true between both of them. I think if you wore one or the other in a eau de parfum, they would both go with each other's soaps and stuff like that. They would just match very well. The brush was the Wolf Whiskers 24mm Black Wolf knot. Beautiful. The Feather Artist Club stainless steel with a never-ending blade in there. I think there's 20 plus shaves now. And finished off with AP Reserve Essentials Restoration Peptide Concentrate Serum. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was a cracker. Stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.